pandemic was very difficult. I think one thing that we had professors had to take into account was that this was the first time, like, none of us had ever been in a global pandemic, but what did that look like from a school front? So, we had to talk to them and communicate with them, because sometimes it just felt like assignments were just too cumbersome that we couldn't, like, all put everything together, because I was a worker and I was coming back from being stressed at work to having a full load of coursework due at a certain time. And I think overall it really contributed to like my failing mental health at that point. So it was just very difficult trying to balance everything, but still trying to remain focused and determined, but trying to have the emotional strength to like gather myself together, because the pandemic wasn't just affecting me on the school front or the work front, but we also had the family front where we all had to work and some members of my family lost jobs. So it's like, okay, how do we afford to put food on the table or pay for rent? Because one sad thing about COVID and this pandemic is that although all our lives were put to a halt, the bills weren't. So we really had to find a way to make do.
Before COVID, I was 16. Life was okay. Everything was great. We went out with friends. And school wasn't as stressful until COVID hit. Then everyone had to go to school online, and there was no more motivation. So no one really went to school anymore. So my school district decided not to grade us or even give us a final. Now I'm a senior in high school. There's still no motivation. Everything's harder, but we didn't have to take the SATs, which was also great news. But yeah, life with COVID is quite harder than it was before COVID. And online school wasn't the best.
Hello, Maya. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
So I'm here because I would like to ask you a few questions about how you feel like COVID affected you as a child. Could you state your full name, your birthday, and your age? You don't have to be nervous.
Alright, my name is Amaya McAllister. My birthday is July 17th, and I'm 13 years old.
Okay. So how do you feel like COVID affected you as a kid? Like, were you like when it first started happening and it wasn't any toilet tissue and schools were getting closed down? What type of feelings did those events provoke?
I was really annoyed, and like it really made my grades go down because I suck at online school.
Mm-hmm.
So like I always had stuff taken away from me, and I was always getting sent to my room, and I like it was really hard.
Really?
Yeah.
So, were you afraid of the virus? Like, were you afraid that, hey, somebody in our house could catch it, or, you could potentially get it and get sick? Like, how did you feel about knowing that people were dying from this virus?
I was temporarily afraid of it the first time I heard of it, but like after a while, I kind of got over it. So,
Because you were just in the house the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you think your friends affected them, like in talking to them and stuff like that?
If I'm being honest, I felt like it just made them more secluded and like introverted, being to themselves.
So you feel like it made them not really want to go outside even more?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that restrictions are lifting and things are getting better, how do you feel about, taking the vaccine and being a part of society again?
I mean, I'm kind of scared of the vaccine, but like,
Why?
because people say it gives them weird side effects.
Okay.
Can you state your name and your occupation, please?
My name is Ivy. I'm an ED tech and a nursing student.
Thank you for joining us here today, Miss Ivy. Thank you for doing this interview with us. So today we're just going to be asking you a few questions about how this pandemic has affected your work and your school. So can you start off by telling us, how was it like how was work and school like before the whole pandemic, like literally the day before?
So pre-COVID, or like right about when COVID started, I was actually working at a doctor's office at the time. And before that, it actually was like regular business hours, just, you know, everybody just coming in to get seen for regular things and leaving. But then once they started doing the lockdowns, that's when it felt like things were really getting serious. And that was actually right about when I started nursing school. So everything just kind of happened at the same time. We would get to work and it would be like, nobody is coming in, only by appointment. Even then, it's like very, very strict, no visitors. And you could just visibly see how people were distressed, even at work. Even if you're coming in just for a checkup, people just seemed so distressed. And that was the only thing on their mind was COVID, COVID, COVID.